So odds are, if you're a creative, a filmmaker, a button pusher, if you will, there is a client that you have that you would want to work with above all others. For some of you, that might look like Nike or Apple or Mercedes or a small YouTube commercial for turtlenecks. Could be. Some people do it, okay? It's not that weird. For me, that company has always been DJI. Ever since I got my first Mavic, I've always been obsessed with the travel videos they put on YouTube. And now here we are 7 years later, and that's me flexing my very Photoshop biceps on their Instagram because we got to do an entire campaign together. I'm gonna break down what went into making that campaign happen and give my biggest tips on how you can connect with your dream client. This is gonna be a fun one. I really do think this is gonna be my most knowledgeable video in a long time. I always talk about chasing after your dreams and going after those big projects you want. And in this video, I'm actually gonna give you those tangible building blocks so you can make that happen. Also, at the end of the video, we're gonna have a conversation with someone who actually works at DJI, giving the tips of what they look for in creators that they wanna work with. So that's pretty cool. I like to think. Stick around all the way to the end. This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna become friends and everyone's gonna win here. Side note, this video is not sponsored by DJI. It is, however, sponsored by my good friends over at Cuts Clothing. They are having their 7th anniversary sale and their entire site is 30% off for the next few days only. And in case you're watching this after that, you can always use code Sam Newton for 15% off to get the best clothes in the game. I'll talk a little bit more about them at the end of the video. So in the meantime, let's dive in. All right, so in order for you to kind of understand the tips I'm gonna give at the end of the video to reach out and connect with your dream client, first I wanna talk about my last experience with DJI, the big campaign that we put together, which was one of my most insane experiences filming a video ever. Hopefully you've seen the video. It's called A Really Good Drone Shot, and this is going to be a breakdown of the really, really, really good drone shot shoot video campaign thing. Okay, let's get into it. So once I landed this opportunity, I knew I wanted to make it as big and ridiculous as any video I've ever made. So I hit up some of my most creative friends and we made a really, really, really good video. So I knew I wanted to make one of my most ridiculous films, so I hit up this guy. This is Richard Beck, who is an incredible DP who I knew could help bring my stupid idea to life. But more than just help film this, Richard helped write and compose an entirely original song for this campaign. I don't know if I can really put into words how wild that actually is. All right, that's enough. Next, I hit up one of my best friends, Luke, who is not only an incredible travel photographer,
really good, very, very nice,
but also is an amazing singer. So I asked him not only to sing on the track, but also to attempt to act alongside me.
really good, really, really good, really, really good.
So the whole team took off to Indonesia and had one of the craziest weeks of filming that I've ever experienced in my entire life. And a lot of it was thanks to this guy, Agung. He was our guide the entire time while we were out there.
Super good time.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time.
Hey, if you're coming to Java, this is the guy you hit up right here.
All of us went around, we had this incredible time shooting, and then I had this idea where I'm like floating up in the air, and we hit up my friend Maria, who is an incredible VFX artist, and she said, good, done. She made it happen with that scene of me kind of floating up, and I had this grand finale idea of getting Sam Kolder involved, who you guys know has been someone I've kept involved in this channel for a long time. I hit him up, I'm like, hey, would you be down? And he didn't respond. But then I hit him up again and then kind of poked him a third time. I'm like, yo, Sam, this would be really cool. And he was an absolute legend about it. He delivered the ending clip. So what do you think?
Yo, man, I don't know who gave you this number, but you have to stop calling me.
And so I had everything I needed to make the video finally come to life in a way that I was really, truly proud of to show DJI. We threw the final colors on it with my immersion LUT collection. I used the ethereal blue LUT, and then we sent it over, and the biggest thing, probably the coolest thing, was I pitched DJI since we made this original song. I said, what if we made a contest for you guys to make a video with the song? And over 4,000 of you joined in on this stupid joke and made a video with the song, which was absolutely crazy to see. So there you have it. What was supposed to just be a YouTube video for DJI turned into us making an original song, spending the entire budget flying out to Indonesia, creating this wild, stupid concept of a movie trailer, getting Sam Kolder involved, VFX involved, and having this huge contest and campaign that you guys can also be a part of. But what does this have to do with pitching your dream client? What does this have to do with working with the company that you would ideally want to work with down the line? Well, I'm gonna explain that. But first, before you hear it from me, let's have a conversation with someone who actually works at DJI and break down what they look for in creators and get a little bit of insight directly from the source. What's good, man?
What's up, Sam?
I appreciate you hopping on right now, and I will make this nice and quick. This is Cody. Cody works directly with DJI. Do you want to explain a little bit about what you do at DJI?
Yeah, I'm on the marketing team based in North America in Los Angeles. Basically have ran social media and influencer marketing out in this region for the last 8 years.
As a brand who obviously gets reached out to by thousands of creators all the time, what are some things that you're looking for in creators to potentially work with down the line?
I would say, the obvious thing that comes to mind is like a mastery at drones or filmmaking or photography or some sort of sport that's relevant to DJI products that we think our audience would be interested in.
Huge. So getting to a level where, you can really stand out above other creators.
And having like a resume online already that shows that you're passionate about a product or like have a skill that would resonate with other creators.
Love it. What are some things from someone who's seen it 1,000 times over? What are some things that they just shouldn't do?
I think we're open to all of it. I would say like if you're going to be the one that kind of like pounds the pavement and like really sends email after email, I would just make sure that you're kind of already a master at your craft before you're sending and spending all this time with the outreach to brands. I think that would be much more effective.
Huge. And what are some better ways, more effective ways to kind of get your guys' attention as a creator?
I think it starts with passion for the company and like I said, building that resume out on your own channels. I think through that you would be networking with a lot of folks that we might already work with, and then perhaps asking one of those people that you built a creative connection with for an intro to DJI. I think we're accessible at a bunch of trade shows now, especially after COVID. So I think that's a good place to meet some of the folks that work at DJI in person. And then, yeah.
Huge. I love it. Straight from the source. All right. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Sam.
All right. Peace. So there you have it, advice directly from DJI. Now I want to give my experience from the creator perspective, what I've learned over 10 plus years in this industry that actually works when it comes down to reaching out and connecting with the brands that you actually want to work with. But first, if you were here right now, you'd probably say, wow, Sam, a skateboard, weights, a really good outfit. You seem really cool and stylish and relatable. And to that, I would say, how'd you get in my house? And then I would say, it's mostly thanks to the sponsor of this video, Cuts Clothing. I joke around a lot, but Cuts has sponsored this channel for 3+ years now, and I've always talked about them. And for the next few days, they're running their biggest sale of the year, 30% off their entire site, up to 60% off, I'm pretty sure. And it's a company that I don't feel like I need to sell too much because I genuinely believe in them. I am not a big fashion guy, but you just put on the outfit and it's super easy and it looks good. They now have pants, which is hands down my favorite part of their wardrobe. Their shirts, they don't wrinkle. Like when you go buy a cheap shirt at H&M and just 3 days later after one wash, it gets crappy. That's not cuts. It's genuinely high quality. I don't know if you can see, but the material is just very, very comfortable. If for some reason you do need to go shopping for something in your new wardrobe, I would just hope you would go check. Get 30% off for the next few days. And if you're watching this after the sale, 15% off with code Sam Newton. And step up your wardrobe. Quality, clothes that last. It makes you feel good. All right, now let's get into those tips that I promised you. Transition. Ooh, fancy. All right, so let's dive into it from the creator's perspective. I have 10 years of experience reaching out to brands, connecting with brands, and I've learned a lot along the way of what works and what doesn't work, and I want to talk about that. So it basically kind of all goes down in these 4 steps. Step 1, get the brand's attention. Now this is obviously going to be the hardest one to do, but what Cody said is really important to note. They're looking for people that are already at a pretty high level. So if you don't think you're quite there yet, we're gonna do one of 2 things. We're gonna work on building our portfolio, our spec work, making sure we have visibility in the actual type of industry we wanna break into. DJI is gonna wanna see that you can make the videos that they wanna hire you for. So try to make DJI cinematic films on YouTube, or for whatever kind of client you are trying to reach out to, make sure your spec work is very relevant. Then once you have that, you can reach out in so many different ways. Email, DM, you can go to trade shows. The goal here is just to build a connection with someone on the other side. Now, what I didn't talk about leading up to this campaign was that I had emailed DJI for years, and I finally got the opportunity to work on a small TikTok video, which was basically just kind of an exchange for product with a tiny budget back in 2021. Now, I didn't really do TikTok, but this was an opportunity that I finally landed to get my foot in the door and to prove to them that I can actually deliver. So I went above and beyond, over-delivered, and really made something that they weren't expecting. It turned into a successful TikTok sound, and that allowed me to pitch them further on. You gotta get their attention however you can and get your foot in the door to actually have a conversation with somebody within the company, which is step 2. Connect with a brand and build a personal relationship. Now, once you've sent those emails, those DMs, once you've gone in person, once you've done whatever you can to build your portfolio and actually get their attention, the goal here is to build a personal relationship within the company. Now, what I always do is try to get off email and onto a phone call, because you'll figure out very quickly what their needs are, what kind of upcoming videos they'd want to make, and try to at least pitch them on any kind of project you can possibly do, which would take us to step 3, which is essentially land any opportunity you can possibly do. I think this is a part where a lot of creators get a little weird about, because it's always like, oh, know your value, don't do free work, don't do cheap work. But in reality, free work and cheap work has led to basically 99% of my big campaigns down the line, because this gives you an opportunity to prove to them that you can over deliver. If it's a cheap or free product, their expectation is probably going to be very, very low. That takes us to step 4, crush the project. You take all of your resources, all of your budget to make the best possible video you can. So for me, it started with this tiny TikTok campaign, and then I was able to make a video called The Perfect Video, which was supposed to be a cinematic YouTube video. It all kind of fell apart, but it did really well. And then from there, I was able to pitch an even bigger one, because I was able to show them that I would deliver time and time again. Now, even if it's a small budget, a lot of people don't go above and beyond. I always try to over deliver, because A, that's the brand that I want. B, I want to continuously put out things that are unexpected and things that my audience will really love. And the third thing is, even if the brand won't want to work with you down the line after that campaign, you have something incredible for your portfolio to show to other brands. I know that this was a lot. I get it was a long video, but I really am trying to push you guys towards taking these steps to actually making your dream life come to be a reality. If that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you did make it all the way, if you did make it all the way to the end, just comment down below, what's your dream company? Who would you like to work with and why? And I'll send 3 of you guys my immersion LUT collection completely for free. I love you guys. Stay creamy, keep dreaming. Creaming and dreaming, it's what we do. It's all we ever do. Oh yeah, Cuts Clothing, their sale is going on. If not, 15% off Sam Newton. It helps me out a lot. You get the gist. Click down below. Go grab yourself something. Love you guys. Bye.